of a
But
crime.
Brian, I'm
Yep.
curious, how did you go from duct taping and robbing to now you're an advocate and you have, a heart to help people and especially the younger audience? There was a point where you were arrested, you went to jail. Tell us that, what was that like? What was that part
Mm.
of your story?
The arresting part. Oof. So there's this thing that happens when you cross the line. When you tie somebody to a chair, when you rent a fake storefront and clean a guy out, and this guy dies of a heart attack 3 months later and
Mm.
is humiliated because no one will believe the story that we told him to tell the police that he did. And then the police ended up finding out that he told the wrong story. And again, we were told that this guy was dirty, that this guy did this all the time.
Yeah.
When you cross that line, for me, the world became different. The world was, I started to have to shrink. I felt like I needed to hide from it. I started to not feel right in a normal crowd or places that I used to feel safe because you cross the line. Like people are looking for you now. When you see a police officer, you're supposed to think, geez, there's safety over there. And there's somebody that I should go to if I'm ever in trouble, but not when you cross that line. That policeman becomes somebody that you should be very afraid of.
Or your
And
enemy. Yeah.
yeah, I knew in my heart that I'd crossed the line and now the world was very different to me. Now the world was going to come get me. You know what I mean? And it was awful. Despite the money, despite the drugs, despite the jewelry, despite the cars, everything that you think, and we have enough movies out there to show you that, hey, that's not what it's all cracked up to be. The worst part of this story has always been being held accountable and being held accountable consistently throughout my life. Because right now it's still very difficult for me to find employment with
Mm.
this hanging over my head. And prison and being labeled an ex-con is just something that nobody has any sympathy for. Nobody gives a crap about us, and it's good. I think it's great.